guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Westen. How are you guys doing today? And today we've got something special. We are going to get back and get down here and look at our Ford TW30 tractor we recovered out in the middle of Bigfoot country. Let's go down here. It's been sitting in the front yard for, well, ever since we released that last video, and we've been mowing around and it's kind of looking sad. So we're gonna fire it up, get it pulled up here on the gravel and see exactly what's wrong with it, why it smokes so much. Just figure out how good an old tractor it is. I bet it's amazing. Dang it, guys, look at it. Don't it look beautiful? All right, so if you guys watched my last video on this tractor, you know we went down to the middle of nowhere, down the middle of Bigfoot country, like I said, and picked this tractor up out of a barn. Now, the story on this tractor was an old man, he was getting out of farming, and my cousin came across it and said, hey, you want to buy this tractor? I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to deal with it. You go down there, you get it, you figure out if it runs, you can just buy it. You take it. So, that's how we got it. And look at it. Ain't it beautiful? We just love it up here. This tractor's been sitting here for about 2 weeks. The grass has kind of grown up a little bit around it because we've just been mowing around it because it's become my yard ornament. There's a couple things we have to figure out about this tractor. I was told that it had a bad injector, but I'm not necessarily sure that's what's wrong with it. Now, this thing smokes more than a Comanche, but it's kind of a wrong color smoke. When it fires up, it was like a blue smoke. So that could be either fuel or it could be oil. Now, if it's oil, it could be a turbocharger. Maybe it's got a cracked piston ring, cracked piston, whatever it may be. I didn't see a whole lot of blow-by out of the engine when we fired it up. And also, if it was oil, it was smoking so badly that it still wouldn't be full oil. Which, you know, see, it's, you know, it's still full oil. It's not bad looking oil either, really. So, obviously, we do check. It's got oil in it. I'll climb up there and check, make sure it's got antifreeze, and well, actually I know it don't got no antifreeze, but I'll make sure it's got water in it. And we got a fresh battery I just brought down here. We'll hook that up, and I'll probably have to hook some jumper cables up to it as well to get it started up because I need to get it out of my yard. Obviously, it's kind of been sitting here for a while. So we'll pull it up there up the hill in front of the garage. That way we can kind of start taking some of it apart. We'll probably pull the intake off of it. See, this is a, let me slide forward a little bit. This is a 6.6 liter Ford diesel. Now it's kind of a strange diesel engine. They put them in the medium duty trucks and in these turbocharged tractors. Now this one here is turbocharged. The turbo is kind of backwards. The exhaust goes up over there to the stack, and then the intake's on the back side, which is kind of backwards, but it's all right. So what we'll do is we'll pull this thing up here, and as you can see, this is the intake tube, and we'll take and pull that off there and see if our turbo's in good shape. That could be what it is. It could be pulling oil in from the turbo seals, or it could be leaking on the exhaust side and throwing it into the exhaust, and that's why it's smoking so bad. But we need to get out of my yard first. Now, the last time we moved this thing, it had some previous tenants that was in it, and I ain't joking you, there was some rats that came out of this tractor the size of cats. I didn't even want to drive the thing. There were some snakes in there too, and I'm not about them nope ropes. That's not my life. Nope. You ain't gonna catch me nowhere near a snake. I think it's been sitting here long enough that all the nope ropes and all the snakes and rats and everything are gone, but their homes still are left. So we might have to blow that out with an air compressor or something. Anyway, let's see if we can get it fired up. You know, an old man told me something one time. He's like, you know what? I was in the Army, I was a paratrooper. He's like, the best parachute you could ever have is a pair of jumper cables. I'm like, why is that? It's like, hell, you grab them SOBs, they'll get stuck on something on the way down. Never fails, they're always stuck on something. Yeah. Or tangled.
Sounds like to me you have a lot of old men telling you things.
You know what? Old men tell the funniest stories. Our door's bent too. We gotta fix our door.
Oh God. Better just leave it here.
Yeah, the door's bent. We might as well just not even move it. Okay. 9,400 hours. Oh my God, if a snake crawls up my leg, I am going to scream like a little girl. All right, let's try it. Oh my God, that was way too easy. This tractor's a good tractor. It's already smoking though, look at it. Power steering still works. It is smoking pretty good. But that's a Ford tractor for you. Throttle. What do we got? Gear shift. I'm gonna have to figure out how to drive this thing, but it shouldn't be like any different from any other tractor.
Lesson here for Charlie.
brakes don't work. Our brakes don't work at all. Like none. Huh. That's not a good deal. All right, so we got it moved up the hill here. We just moved it here that way in case we take it apart enough that we can't get it started back up. It's not sitting down in front of the garage. So first things first, we're gonna pull the side covers forward. That way we can get to the engine, and I think we'll pull the air intake off of it and look at the turbo. And while we're at it, we'll probably just pull the air filter out and make sure no rats have built nests inside the air filter or anything. So let's get it done. There we go.
Yeah, don't knock yourself on the jaw.
I know, that'd be a bad deal. So first things first, let's pull this air filter. Oh my God. Probably a big old rat's nest in this air filter if I'd had to guess. It's got some dust in it and dirt, but it's not bad. Okay, look at this. Now this kind of shows how long this tractor's been sitting, because this pre-filter was put in here 4 of 2006 at 9,400 hours. It's got 9,456 hours on it now. So it's roughly only had 56, 50. That could have been just from that year when they was using it to plow or using it to work ground or whatever, and they just put that amount of hours on it and it broke down. Now I'd been told it had been sitting for a long time. What would that have been, 13 years ago? Yeah, that would kind of line up with what the guy told me. It had been sitting for about 10 years. So anyway, actually the air filter doesn't look bad. I thought maybe a rat had built a nest in it or something. I mean, it's dusty, it needs blown out, but it's not terrible at all. It's actually a New Holland filter too. So I went ahead and put the air filter back in. It looked great. There was a little bit of dust in it. I knocked out the dust and stuff on the tire, but we pulled off the air intake on the other side and looked at the turbo. I wish I could show you guys, but it's a little tight in there. Can't really get a camera in to look at it. But the turbo looked great. Don't think we're having any issue with boost. I don't think we're having any issue with oil, and I really think that it's probably a fuel smoke. And I actually talked to the guy that owned this tractor, and he said yes, and most definitely it has an injector or two that are weak. I actually did some calling around it, and I was able to find a brand new set of injectors for this for about $50 a piece. So you know what? For what's that, like 300 bucks? For 300 bucks, I'm just gonna buy a new set of injectors in it. We're gonna throw that in there, and I think about a 90% chance that fixes our issue. Now, so originally we came up here and we was gonna diagnose exactly which injector was weak and just replace one, because I'm cheap like that. And if you're in the, if you're in the field or whatever and you need this tractor back to working as soon as possible, there's an easy way to do that. And what that is right here's your injection pump on the side of the engine. Now it's covering oil and grease because it's probably got a leak on it somewhere. It's covering grease because, it's got that rust prevention for if this was a Canadian tractor by chance. But it's not, so we're good.
You can see the injector lines there.
But right up on top here, you can see all of your injector lines going into your delivery valves and everything. And what you can do is you can take, and they make a little cap. You can get them on Amazon or on the line places that goes on top of this injector line. And you can just take and unhook that injector line and put that cap on there, and that gives you the ability to shut off fuel to each individual cylinder. When you get to the cylinder that's giving you issues, say number 3 is leaking, and you get to the point where you shut off the fuel to number 3 cylinder, have it running, have it idling, and if your smoke goes away, then you know that it's number 3 injector that you need to replace and you can move on. I don't have one of them caps. I need to order one. They're really handy to have, especially for like common rail Cummins and all of them good jazz. That they're wonderful to have for them as well. But we're just gonna put a whole new set in it because these injectors are cheap and ain't gonna worry about it too much. Now there is small issues we gotta fix around this tractor. But what do you expect for a $700 tractor? I mean, I can't complain any about this. It does need a window. It needs some seals around it. This door's bent. That's why it doesn't shut quite right. It's bent right there and it's bent in. So we might be able to straighten that door up, and if not, I can probably find another door for it. It does need an interior kit because, as you might see, the headliner's gone. A lot of basically the interior is rough. It needs a seat. The lights don't work. Most of the electrical doesn't work. It's got right at 9,460 hours on it, which is not a terrible amount for a tractor of this age. I mean, that's not bad at all. We're going to take and get this tractor fixed up. This will be a really good tractor for a brush hogging tractor, or I'll have to get a bigger brush hog. I mean, yeah, this thing here can probably pull like a 15-foot brush hog, which, as you can tell, we got lots of grass around here that needs mowed. Or if we ever decide to start baling hay or raking, or if we pretty much anything we want to do, we can do with this tractor. But anyway, it needs some small stuff done to it. But the major mechanics of the tractor I think are in pretty good shape. I think once we get them injectors thrown in it, and got to figure out why. I know going into the high range side of the power divider that it kind of kicks out of gear every once in a while if you don't hold it in. So I don't know exactly what the problem is there. I do know that it could either be, I don't know, it could be something wrong with the transmission, or it could just be something as simple as there's a rat's nest underneath the cab that's keeping me from holding it in all the way. So on the last video that we did on this tractor, I came across an interesting comment down in the comment section, and you know what, there was a lot of good ones. I like reading them all, but I thought this one was interesting, thought I'd read it to you guys. 35 to 40 years from now, you won't be able to do this with a 2019 tractor. If you do it, it will cost a small fortune and make Einstein pull his hair out dealing with unnecessary computer crap. And you know what, this guy's 100% correct, because you really don't even realize until you're around these newer tractors how much wiring and how much small computer stuff will keep a tractor from running. Now this one here, it's all mechanical. All it needs is electricity to get started, and once it's started, it doesn't even need power. You could take the batteries out of it, unhook the alternator, whatever you want. It doesn't need it. It's all mechanical. And you know what? You guys that's around these newer tractors will know, if you walked behind a 2018 or 2019 John Deere with a rat's nest like that in it, and rat's nest like this tractor had in it with the amount of rats and everything that was in it, you'd be like, oh my Lord, I will never make this thing run again. And you would be right, because there is so much small computer crap that just keeps these things from working. I don't know if this is true or not, but I had a friend of mine that's a John Deere tech tell me that there's 10 miles of wiring in a new John Deere tractor. 10 miles. I don't even know if I could walk that far. There's not even a question. I couldn't walk that far. So anyway, guys, we are going to get this tractor up and running and back in the field. Well, I guess it's already in the field. Oh, Beyonce is calling. Actually, I do got to correct you. It's Halsey. It's Halsey. Hello. Hey, sweetheart. Can I call you back? Beyonce's getting ready to call in just a second. Yeah, I know. Okay. So anyway, we are excited to get this tractor back in the field. I don't know, I might get a bigger brush hog to pull behind it. You know what? There's all kinds of cool things we can do. We can plow with it. We can disc with it. We can do all kinds of awesome stuff. Who knows? I might just drive it to town because I just feel like it and I want to take it for a cruise down Main Street. My God. Halsey, what the heck? I know you love me, but hold on. If you liked the video, hit that like button. If you're new here, subscribe. And you know what? I'll see you guys next time.